Alright guys, I'm Jason Swafford from XLR8 Athletix. This is our first video of our video blog that we're going to be putting out for a new program, a new video series that we're doing called Method to the Madness. So Dave here is going to be taking us through some of the programming things that we're doing, and we'll be teaching you guys about our programming. We'll be talking about a lot of other programming styles that are out there, doing the pros and cons, the analysis, and hopefully we learn some things from their programming and you guys get to learn some things from what we're doing here. So take it off to you.
How you doing, everybody? Obviously Dave Finley, we're with Jason Swafford. Welcome to the XLR8 Athletix group of gyms, Plymouth CrossFit, Heinz Park CrossFit, and soon to be CrossFit Detroit. We're going to be going over all of the different reasons why we program the way we do them, so that you guys, as coaches, what we're always trying to work on is education, motivation, and inspiration. So right now, this is going to be a little bit more of an educational thing so that you understand what we're doing with our programming, why we're doing it, and how we can modify it so that it's going to serve you best. Jason's got a few questions, and I'm ready to answer them.
So the main thing that we've been hearing lately, and it's not just in our gyms, but also in the CrossFit community in general, a lot of the other boxes that we talk to, is around programming. So the trend lately has been that people are looking for an advantage, right? They're looking for an advantage over and above what we're doing in the classes, and they don't necessarily understand why we're doing what we're doing in class. They know we're doing workouts, we do some strength work, we do some skill work, and then we do a lot. But what they're getting when they look at some of the other programs that are online, or mostly online, is they get explanation of what those workouts are. So there's an immediate perception that those workouts have some purpose. It's going to get them from point A to point B better than what we're doing in class. And I think the big question that we keep getting is, what is the method to the madness within our classes?
Yeah. Well, first of all, what I have found, and this is true of almost all things, that anybody from out of town always seems to be a lot smarter than the guy that you're working with locally. Just kind of the way it goes. And you know, with the evolution of the kind of things that we've been working with, I can remember 5 years ago, Mike Bergner was the only guy in CrossFit doing Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
And then it shifted and everybody started to find Catalyst. And it shifted again, people started to find Outlaw. And then it shifted again, people started to find little barbell shrug outdoor. Yeah. And what I find all the time is that people are always going to be looking and seeking for something different.
Yeah. When was the last time someone did a Bergner warm-up?
It just doesn't happen anymore, right? And Mike Bergner's still a fantastic coach, and he was, he's always been a great coach, still is a great coach. He's got a lot of things he can teach a lot of people. However, people are looking for something new. Now, the problem that we have when we're doing our workouts and when we program is that I'm programming for 500 plus athletes. And when you program for 500 plus athletes, you really cannot say, you're going to be doing all of these movements exactly this way, because I don't know what days you're going to miss. I don't know what days you're showing up on. I don't know the intensity level that you're going to choose to use on that particular day. I don't know your particular injury. I don't know your particular limitations as an athlete, whether it be strength or mobility or any of those different things. So, we're tasked with putting a program together that is going to be broad, general, and inclusive, and it's going to be able to have, people are going to have fun doing it, and that's got to be across multiple gyms and hundreds of athletes. So when we put these workouts together, we do keep in mind that our goal is going to be to try to get enough variation or scalability in our WODs that we can accommodate the regional level or even games level athlete, as well as the newcomer with all kinds of limitations. So that's basically that's the challenge that we have, and it's what I think that we do very well with, but there's some ways that you can tweak this programming in order to get the most out of it.
So those are all good points. The thing that I think I guess the devil's advocate perspective on this would be or the psyche of the competitive athlete. As our athletes get better at what they're doing, they're obviously looking for advantages to get them those goals, or to get them competitively an advantage, or get them an advantage competitively. So when they're going against the guys that we have in our classes, or they're going against people in competitions, like we got a bunch of people at a competition today, or they're going open, regionals, whatever it might be, they're looking for an advantage. And if they're sitting in class with 30 other people doing the same programming as them, the the psychological effect of that is I'm not getting better than the person next to me if we're all doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Right. And what we talk about is, competition is going to, breed specialization. So if you finish 3 places behind me in the open, and we're going to follow exactly the same workout program from now, and I ended up on the team and you did not end up on the team.
Right.
The last thing that you want to do is follow the same program that I follow for the entire year and finish 3 places behind me again. Of course, we understand that. We get it. So you're going to be tasked with, I either have to do more, I have to go heavier, I have to change the movements, or I have to do it a lot faster. I have to do something different, better than my competition in order to be able to beat them in the future. Right. So people start to seek other programs. Now, we have a host of fantastic coaches that are here. We've got world record holder powerlifters and strength coaches. We've got state champion Olympic lifters, national level kettlebell champions, national level strongman champions. We've got fantastic CrossFitters and regional level team athletes, and we've got some, and then I've just got a few years doing this stuff. But what we do best is we've got these specialties that we can work with. Now, I encourage people to go out and seek those things that they are weakest at and work on. But right in the programming itself, there's such a huge benefit to training with our group that you do not necessarily want to isolate yourself from what we're doing. What you want to do instead is make some small modifications to the programming as it exists so that it suits your goals and hopefully your weaknesses so that you can break those down and build them up.
Right. So one of the things we might want to do in the next couple of weeks is bring Tim Van Dusen into the conversation. Right?
Yeah.
So a guy that does the WODs maybe 5 days a week. Right. Does the WODs. But he doesn't only do the WODs. So to say Tim's just doing the workouts in class, if you don't look at what he's doing in class and you look at what he's doing after class or before class or at different times of the day, you would think that he's getting better at a rate. He's one of the best, if not the best athlete we have in our gym, that he's getting that just from what he's doing here. But he is actually working his weaknesses.
Absolutely.
He's working on the things that he sucks at when he's not in class.
Our best athletes are like that. So our most accomplished female athlete would be Lynn Potter. Most accomplished male athlete would be Tim. But we've got some other great female and great male athletes. But if you look at those 2 athletes, they religiously do our programming. And then after that, they say, what do I suck at? What do I need to work on top of the program that we're doing so that I can continue to gain my competitive advantage over the people that I'm training against and competing with? So they will do the WOD. They will alter these workouts slightly because they're smart enough to do it and because their coaches will help them with ways to modify the workouts in order to get what they're looking for out of their programming. At the same time, if they don't see it here, they are going to work on it on their own. Whether it's, we're not going to put the snatch in every single day. There are people that are going to want to do snatches a little bit more often. By all means, there's a training area in the back that we do snatches. So we're all for that. I know that Lynn trains with Eric McGill, who is our Olympic lifting coach. I know that she also works with Beth and JJ, that are world champion powerlifters. So she is getting a full array of what do I need and what do I want.
So I think that there's a point in there. It's specific, it's personalized. There's
right.
things that they need to work on that they specifically suck at or need work on,
right.
And they're going and seeking out that extra credit, so to speak, in order to get those things done. Big question related to that also is 90% of the people that walk in the door don't know what those things are that they should necessarily be doing
right.
if they suck at it, right? So that leads into the next thing we're going to talk about is goal setting. If you walk in the door without a goal, right. It's very unlikely that you're going to hit any major gains or any significant improvements if you're not striving for a goal.
The difference between, we're 200 yards from a gym that charges $10 a month, and we are 20 times that price, right? So when we say, why are people in this gym? It's because they seek expert coaching, and this is what we have. We do our best to make sure that our coaches are the best in the game so that people can come and get expert advice from coaches that know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, if you come to the coach and say, hey, listen, this is what I need to accomplish. I am no good at this one thing, then we can help you with that. Now, Competitively, we talk about levels of competition all the time. The first thing that everybody on the street does when they come, their competition is just, can I get into the building? Do I have the guts to walk into a CrossFit gym and say, I'm going to get started today? You know, once you're here, the next thing you're going to do is compete with the movement standards, right? Can I do an air squat? I mean, everybody, we think that's, you know, simple, but on day one, there's all kinds of people that cannot do an air squat. They have to learn how to do the air squat, how to do the push-up, how to do the pull-up, how to do the sit-up. Do it accurately, do it well, do it in a standard way that we can match and measure score. Now, that's important because once we get those moves, we can start to link together those moves into WODs. And now they're just competing with WODs. After they're done competing with that WOD, they're going to start competing against their previous best scores in that WOD, and then they're going to start to compete against other people in the gym, where really all I want to do is beat Jason in workout. I don't care what my score was, as long as I beat him. Because sometimes, most times, you'll be doing a workout that you've never done with Jason before. So, am I really trying to beat my best score? I don't know what my best score was. Or I did this workout 6 months ago, but I'm stronger now, so my weights and loads are going to be different than the last time I did it anyways. So really what I want to do, I want to beat my workout partner. I want to beat the guy next to me. So, there are different levels of competition that we see in the gym all the time. What you have to know is, what are you weak at? And a lot of times we don't know. So, this is why coaches are here to observe you train. I understand the draw of an online workout program from somebody that says, I've trained this superstar and that superstar. This programming is going to do it for you. But at the same time, I'm a very good coach. I program great workouts. I simply cannot train somebody that lives in Texas without seeing what they can do. I can't write a program for them without knowing what their skill level is, what their loads are. And I see it all the time where people are purchasing a program. And I say, well, when you purchase that program, what information did you have to give before they hand you that program? Just my credit card information. Well, if that's all it takes, then we'd all better close up shop and go do something else for a living, because coaching is where you're going to get the greatest improvements. Yeah. Having a team around you and having a group with you is where you're going to compete and get the best gains. Yeah. And it's where you're going to have the most fun doing your workouts. So it's not just, did I go to the gym today? Some people are here to work out and have some fun. Other people are here to train, compete, and win. We've got to try to accommodate all those people.
So I think this is a good point to all the CrossFit gym affiliate owners, or even just fitness owners in general. People are looking for that thing that's going to give them that advantage, and they're not necessarily always going to come directly to you to talk about their goals. They're going to go on the web like we do all day long, and we Google stuff, right? We Google to find ways to improve in everything that we do all day long. It's the way we function these days. And it's these programs talk about results. They're results oriented, right? If I look at barbell shrug, they've got a goal. Going to the games.
Yeah, we're going to the games.
We're going to the games. You got X number of
follow
days.
This programming, and we'll see it. We'll see it in the games. So I'm going to do it too, and I'll make the games.
Absolutely.
Right? I'll follow the program.
Right.
I'll make the games.
So a lesson for us is we're in that boat too. We're supposed to be providing that direction to our athletes, the ones that want to go there. We are on a road to the games. At least most of us CrossFit affiliates are, and we need to make sure that those things ring true to the members, so that they are coming to us with those goals, saying that they want those things, and we can provide them.
Programming for the games, starting now, especially, and this is programming for the games. This is broad, general, inclusive. What events are going to be in the Open next year? I'm not sure. A lot of these will end up there. What workouts or movements are going to end up at regionals? I'm not sure. A little bit heavier, but they're all going to be here. What's going to end up at the games? I systematically look at CrossFit as a sport, and I try to put it in there. Now, a lot of the programs that currently exist are very, very heavy on Olympic lifting, because they come from Olympic lifting coaches that are getting into CrossFit stuff. Totally cool. I get it. I understand it. And it looks like we really got this stuff down. However, if you're not doing a lot of CrossFitting, then you're not necessarily just going to get transfer from these other movements to get great at wall balls. The Olympic lifting will make you good. Is it going to make you better at wall balls? I think wall balls will make you better at wall balls. So that's why we make sure that they're in all of the program. We have these movements that we have been able to historically now. CrossFit is supposed to be broad, general, inclusive, but we've been looking at it and studying it long enough now that we can make assumptions as to what the open workouts are going to be. I've been doing it for years. I've been pretty good at guessing what the open workouts are going to be before they're announced. And there's a pattern that has begun where, hey, if you see it in the games, next year it might be in regionals. If you see it in regionals, next year it might be in the open. There's going to be a repeat workout from the year before to this year. We understand these things now, so we can prepare our athletes that way. However, this technically, right now, would be considered the off-season. We're going to start our team training season up in September. And when we do, we're going to be really attacking our top athletes' weaknesses. We're going to say, okay, last year we had a great team. We got bombed in some of the muscle-up blocks. We just did not have the muscle-up well enough. This year, we are going to make sure that is not going to be a weakness. It's going to be a strength of ours this coming year. And it's going to take a lot of practice. Now, the people that know that they need that skill are already working on it because they want to get better. They're not waiting for games training. They're not waiting for anything. They have a skill that a lot of people are not just competing at the open. There's a competition today at Motor City CrossFit that we have athletes at, and I hope that people were training for that event. We want people to train for all kinds of things. If you're not going to win the games, that's okay. Go win your local event and compete and have a good time doing it. That's what we're trying to do.
So in a second, we're going to get into the workouts for the week. One of the things we're going to start doing is on a weekly basis, we're going to go through and share this with the whole community. We're going to share it online. You're all going to have access to it. And part of the reason for doing this is going to be so that you have some earlier insight into what's going to be done for the week, so that if you are doing extra credit, if you are doing those strength days on your own, or those extra workouts throughout the day, you have an idea of what you're going to be doing in those classes, so that you can adjust your week appropriately to fit the workouts that are going to be done in class.